Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show again. Welcome that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I do deliver it every day or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
And while I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, as every day, we are celebrating today on Ron Siegel Radio. You have to look and see what the celebrations are. We got some good ones going on today. Much better than they were a couple days ago. Yesterday, obviously, we really indulged in National Chocolate Milkshake Day, so that was probably not one of my smarter moves, but I enjoy them anyway. What the heck? Today, National Kids Take Over the Kitchen Day. National Uncle Sam Day.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe we'll just stick with National Peanut Day. I can live with that one. If you're allergic to peanuts, stay away from it. We are looking forward to tomorrow, National Cream-Filled Donut Day. That'll be tomorrow, so we'll be looking forward to that one as well. Moving right along. Looking at the markets for you this morning. The markets, boy, they've been a little choppy. They've been heading up. Did you check out in the market yesterday what was going on with the Apple iPhone? Dow Jones Industrial Average this morning, though, up 6.75. Oil up 70 cents per barrel to 48.93 a barrel. U.S. 10-year Treasury at 2.183. It's getting a little choppy out there. Interest rates may be heading back to about 2.6 is what we're looking at right now. They may be heading up. You may have missed that opportunity to get in on the low interest rates. We've told you about that before. So interest rates heading back up. That is good news for our senior citizens who do live off of a fixed rate income. So that's one big issue right there. Apple stock. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. They've now come out with the idea that the iPhone X or 10, whatever way you want to call it, that one there they're looking at, it won't be ready until November. They're going to take pre-sale orders late October with the phone itself coming out in November. Interesting part of that one. So here's what we're going to be looking at when we're talking about the Apple coming out that late. The issue will be what's going to happen. Number one, the stock price is going to have a little bit of a problem there. Why? Well, that's the third quarter. We're going to be looking at the March quarter is where they're going to really have the availability of that stock affecting anything. So that'll be a big issue right there is from the stock price perspective. The other issue that we're going to be looking at is gifts. Are you going to have enough time to get your family gifts that you want this year? That's going to be another major issue in there. Are you planning on it? The iPhone X, the iPhone 10, $999 for a telephone. Now, I'm going to suggest to you that iPhones no longer are just a telephone. They're a lot more than a telephone nowadays. We do a lot with our iPhones. I've been watching and seeing even in the lending industry. Everything is done on the phone nowadays. Our friends over at Gold Star, they've now come out with you can do your entire loan application right on the phone. You can upload your documents right there on the phone. All of it being very simple to do. So I'm not sure it's more than a phone, but I don't know. You tell me. Tell me your feelings. Ron at ronsiegelradio.com, or if you're on the Facebook page, go ahead and put your comments in there and let me know what your thoughts are on the iPhone 10. Now, I'm not a big gamer. I know that the 10 was geared for a lot for gaming. I'm looking here, the iPhone X, $999. That's if you want the base model. Over $1,000 if you want any memory in it. The iPhone 8, $699 is the starting point on that one. The look on the X was pretty cool. You can make these emojis. My wife loves emojis. So you can make all these animated emojis with that thing. It's going to have a little bit bigger screen. I don't know. Apple's coming out with their TV 4K. The biggest news that I saw yesterday that was really exciting from the Apple release was the watch. And I don't wear a watch. You know, it's just my thing. But I saw the Apple Watch is going to have its own Wi-Fi built in. So you're not going to have to carry the phone if you've got the watch with you. I think that's going to be a big issue. And that's more affordable, $400. It still looks a lot of money, but more affordable than most of them. Tell me your thoughts. Did you watch any of it? Have you seen any of the ratings on these different products? Stock price they're looking at, Piper Jaffray, I see, has a overweight rating on the stock. Target price, $190 a share. It's in the 160s right now. Big news from yesterday, that's what it was all about Apple in that new complex, the Steve Jobs Theater, seating 1,000 people. ESPN. Now you go from a network or a pro product, the folks over there at Apple doing great stuff, really building a business. ABC, though, you guys are
You're absolutely useless.
Yeah, what are you doing at ABC? They've got a Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill. Now, you got to love the hypocrisy of our world today. Jamel Hill sends out a tweet and talking about the president is a white supremacist. And it was, here's the exact tweet. Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. What an idiot. I mean, Jamel Hill. And she's a Sports Center host. Is that what you want to be watching when you're going on to Sports Center? Now, Kurt Schilling, when he made comments, he was fired by ESPN. So you have to wonder talk about hypocrisy. ESPN, that with her, what do they do with Jamel Hill? They slapped her on the wrist. And probably not too hard. It was probably one of those grandma paddles that you use that you just kind of use as a pillow, right? So, denounced. I'm going to just give you some of the information from our briefings this morning. Miss Hill still works for the network, although she did receive an official reprimand and was told that her tweets were, quote-unquote, inappropriate. What a punishment. Unbelievable. Keep in mind that ESPN has fired other analysts for espousing much milder conservative views. Critics and viewers are hitting back at the struggling network. Is there any surprise? Surprise that their business is down 23% at ESPN when they're doing stupid stuff like this? Unbelievable. Florida in the news. Officials are urging residents in the Keys to avoid the temptation to return home until roads are cleared and power restored. So far, 12 people died in Florida as a result of the storm and its aftermath. President Trump is going tomorrow to Florida to view the devastated area. Millions are still in the dark, even worse, faced with the total loss of their homes and businesses. And then again, you go back and you see what our loons in Hollywood are up to. They start out with a good cause. Yeah, they started out, they did a star-filled concert intended to raise money for victims of Harvey and Irma. And Stevie Wonder led it off with the dangers of global warming. Beyonce somehow found a way to link the Mexico earthquake with climate change. Even purported newsman Matt Lauer incorrectly stated that Hurricane Irma was the most powerful Atlantic storm ever recorded. It brought to mind the title of a book written by Laura Ingraham a decade ago. Shut Up and Sing was the name of the book. So Amazing that they're still on it. We talked about this one before. Black Lives Matter and other radical groups want the University of Virginia in Charlottesville to take down its statue of Thomas Jefferson.
Nothing like a little air of superiority.
Never mind that Jefferson founded the school. Never mind that he wrote the Declaration of Independence. The slave-owning founding father must be expunged from our memory is the concept there with Black Lives Matter. Just amazing. The Supreme Court acting and sharing, talking about the idea that, yeah, they're not, the under courts are not acting appropriately. They upheld the travel ban from the president, so that's some good news right there. Lynn Orlitsky, a high school teacher in Georgia, scolded students who were wearing a Trump gear, telling them "Make America Great Again" was no different than the Nazi slogans and symbols. Talk about another idiot. Well, at least it looks like she was fired. Hey, maybe we can start getting our kids to start learning. Maybe they can learn about mortgages. Maybe they can learn about bank statements. Maybe they can learn about writing checks instead of some of this propaganda. Hillary Clinton back in the news. Did you check that one out? Her new book was released yesterday. The book's title, What Happened? Well, apparently Hillary had a problem. She was an hour late for the book signing, and everyone asked her, what happened? Yeah, that's just a little bit of an issue right there. Rasmussen poll finds 61% of Americans want Hillary Clinton to retire, which is a significant increase from just after last year's election. I guess they're getting kind of tired of hearing from her. Luis Gutierrez, Democrat from Illinois, being hammered from both left and right for saying White House Chief of Staff John Kelly is a disgrace to the uniform. Now let's think about that. What happened with the Gold Star family that supposedly the president was dealing with? Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So that's another one of those famous issues. Gutierrez, he's allowed to talk about a Gold Star family, but conservatives, they're not allowed to talk about a Gold Star family. Unbelievable, and we are moving right along. See about this, Congressman DeSantis calls for a time limit on Bob Mueller's Russia probe to see if he's really doing anything about Russia. Saw that in the news. Wells Fargo raises the fake account estimate to 67%, raises the estimate 67% to $3.5 million. Just another one of those thoughts right there for you. We are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, happily ever after, homeowner, we'll talk about it. Why your credit score is important as a student. We're going to talk about that one as well. Surprising travel expenses to watch out for, all that and more. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. You just go to NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Put in some information. You can do it from your iPhone. You don't even need the iPhone 10 for that. You can do it from any iPhone and get that handled for you. And it's going to be real nice and easy to take care of that. You put in the amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, the zip code, location, maybe a little bit of pricing information, and our friends will take care of that for you, getting you the data that you want. So here's the solution. The idea right there is also, if you want to know what your property is worth, tell them that Ron said. And they always love it when a sentence starts with Ron said. I heard it on radio. Ron said that you'll send a text message every time a home sells in the neighborhood. Yeah, go ahead, Nest, N-E-S-T. Just send me an email, ron@ronsiegelradio.com. The team will get a hold of that, and they'll make sure that you get a text message every time a home sells in your neighborhood. We got to do some good mornings out here. Good morning, Marcy. Glad to see you with us. Samir, glad to see you with us. Ann, Sid, Denise, Roger, Robin. Glad to see all of you. Pipe in there and give us any questions you may have, comments you may have. Mitchell's with us as always this morning. Glad to see you there as well. Comments or questions right there on the Facebook page. We're happy to answer whatever we can. Our subject this morning in that real-time real estate segment is happily ever homeowner. Married couples once again dominated the first-time home buyer statistics last year at 66% of all buyers, according to the most recent profile of home buyers and sellers. You want the report? Let me know. It is no surprise that having two incomes to save for down payments and contribute to monthly housing costs makes buying a home more attainable. Many couples are deciding to use what would otherwise be their their wedding fund as a down payment on their first home, as unmarried couples made up 8% of all first-time buyers last year. If you're single, don't fret. You can still buy your dream home. Single women made up 17% of first-time buyers in 2016, while single men accounted for 7% of the buyers. According to a survey by the Wedding Report, the average cost of a wedding in the United States at the start of the year, are you ready for this one? This one just baffles me. The cost of a wedding at the start of the year was almost a job, an annual pay. $25,961, which equates to a 10% down payment on a median-priced home. Do you ever get that option? Have you ever mentioned that to your kids or grandkids? That instead of us contributing to your wedding, we'll contribute to your down payment? Recent article from the New York Times found that many singles are now asking their parents to allow them to use the money they've saved up for their wedding day to instead buy a home. One issue here, a Protestant minister from Austin, Texas, her parents had saved a 5-figure sum for her wedding and were more than willing to give her that money as a down payment on her dream home. Individual said, buying the home wasn't me saying I'm never going to get married or I'm going to get married. My own home had way more than equity benefits. It was a real gift to have a home in an extremely desirable neighborhood in a city that she loves. Brought her joy. Bottom line, more and more first-time home buyers are finding a way to purchase their dream homes, even if that means delaying their wedding dreams. And you know, if you've been listening to Ron Siegel radio for any length of time, you know that you don't need 20% down payment, 3%, 5%. I had an individual I was chatting with yesterday, and I love sharing stories of the people that we're talking with offline, because we get these calls all the time. So they're looking at buying their first home, and they had been led to believe that, you know, there's down payment assistance programs. Yes, there are. There are first-time home buyer programs, and I'm going to say yes, there are to those as well. But I want to also tell you, quite frankly, no free lunch. So how did the down payment assistance programs work? The one that they asked me about yesterday was a program called Cal FHA. How does it work? Well, it's very, very simple. If you're buying an FHA home, let's just say right now the FHA in interest is, and I don't know what it is, I didn't look it up. Let's say it's 3.75% on a 30-year loan. We're just doing, I'm not giving you any quotes, that's why I'm not giving you APRs. But here's how it works. You got a 3.75% FHA marketplace with that 3.5% down. And that's going to give you a 0.85 FHA mortgage insurance premium. Now, say you've got decent credit, you can afford the house, but you don't have enough money for a down payment. That's where your issue is. So you start looking into down payment assistance, and you look at the Cal FHA program. How does it work? Well, what they do is they're going to give you, there's different programs, just say 3% down payment assistance. 0.5% has to come from your own funds. Okay, so $400,000 house, you're looking at $2,000 down payment of your own funds. Wonderful program. How does it work? Well, the Cal HAFA program basically says, well, there's only a couple of institutions that they're going to do the program with. They're going to give you that 3% money. But what you have to do is you're going to now get say a 4.5% loan. Yeah, you're overpaying for your interest rate so you can get that down payment assistance. Now, if you don't have any other source for that down payment assistance, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying you need to go into it with your eyes wide open. If you don't have the money, you're better off paying more on a monthly basis if you can afford it than paying the lower monthly and renting. Big issue right there. So I don't want you to be renting unless you absolutely have to. But that's the way that those down payment assistance programs work, is you're paying more on a monthly basis. Now, the other part of it is Fannie Mae has a 3% down payment program as opposed to the FHA 3.5%. If you've got good credit, you may be able to get a lower mortgage insurance premium. They actually call it with Fannie Mae, it's called private mortgage insurance. So if you're looking at FHA or the CalHFA, you're looking at a mortgage insurance premium. It's MIP. If you're looking at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, then you're looking at their programs. It's private mortgage insurance, PMI. And in most instances, your private mortgage insurance is going to be less than your mortgage insurance premium on the FHA programs. The other part is FHA has an upfront mortgage insurance premium of 1.75%. So the minute you buy that property, you're going to tack on 1.75% to your indebtedness. Under the Fannie Mae program, if you've got good credit, you don't have to worry about that part of it. So just some different options there. There are a lot of them. And I know that in the later part of September is not when the majority of the people are out shopping for homes. But why not? There's less people out there. If it's your first home and you're not dealing with kids in school, why not go out there and look at what's available? See if you can make something that makes sense for your family. Give me a call. Let's get on a game plan, 800-306-1990, or just email me, ron@ronsiegelradio.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, America needs your house. Why your credit score is important as a student. Surprising travel tips. We've got a lot to chat about, and we will. You can reach me anytime, though. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage. And SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Do you own real estate or have assets over $150,000? Do you know one of your heirs will be the probate courts and the IRS? If you don't have a living trust, you will go through probate. Call Heritage Financial Services toll free at 1-855-434-7400 for a free review. Check us out on Facebook, Heritage Financial Service in Lake Forest, California. That's 1-855-434-7400. Again, 1-855-434-7400. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the Your Credit Matters segment today, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. You just need to give them a call at 800-306-1990 or give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with our friends at Credit Sanitizer. Did you hear Alan Hand yesterday talking great information about the Equifax hack and what you need to do right now? He was sharing, I don't know if you caught that, it went by pretty quick, But he was sharing the idea that in his household, all the adults, every adult that he watched, him, his wife, his mother or mother-in-law, every one of them were part of the breached group at Equifax, sharing the idea that every one of us are really or are involved in that. So that's a pretty significant number. So be careful there if you did not catch that, and if you didn't catch the instructions of what you need to be doing. Give me a holler, 800-306-1990, or Ron at ronsiegelradio.com. I'll get you the information. Everything he shared with regard to dealing with the breach at Equifax was free. Free. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Now, if you've got errors on your credit report, and I know that you do because everybody does, well, then you can call him and talk to him. He's got a book that he'll give you for free, and he's also got... their company will help you get all the corrections done. I'm a big proponent in having someone do that for you professionally. So the question this morning in our Your Credit Matters segment, why your credit score is important as a student. Attending college comes with a host of new responsibilities, and your parents have hopefully sent you off with the wisdom and encouragement you need to handle those responsibilities on your own. Your studies and your GPA are your top priorities, but you may have other obligations that are important too, whether you are responsible for paying tuition, holding a part-time job, fulfilling an internship. These life learning experiences can help you prepare for the future. While you're busy writing term papers and picking up weekend shifts, though, there's something else you should be working on. Your credit score. That little number will play a significant role in your financial future, so here's a closer look at why your credit score is so important as a student and how you can build, maintain, and keep your credit score in tip-top shape. First off, why credit matters. Number one, your future job opportunities may depend on it. Once you graduate, you'll be applying for jobs that will kickstart your career, and your goal is to land a job that not only makes you good money, but is enjoyable as well. If you're not careful, though, a poor credit score could keep you from getting that dream job. Many employers run credit checks before they hire a candidate. A good credit score tells an employer that you are an organized and responsible person. You may have all the qualities they're looking for, and your skill set may fit every description to land the job. But if your credit score is in bad shape, your opportunity may be given to another candidate with the same skill set and a better score. Good credit could help you land your first apartment. You may decide to live at home with your parents for the first few years after graduating college. This temporary arrangement can help you save up enough money to get yourself out on your own and into your first apartment, maybe even buy your first house. But keep an eye on your credit during this period, as it could impact your ability to get the new first home. Even if you have enough money for the deposit, your future landlord wants to be assured that you will be a reasonable tenant that pays the rent on time, so they may check your credit report. If your score is low and your credit report shows that you aren't paying your creditors on time, you may not get approved to rent the apartment or buy the house. You usually need solid credit to secure the best interest rates on loans. Are you buying a new car? You're looking at a mortgage? The higher your credit score is, the lower your interest rate will be. Getting the best interest rates on car loans, home mortgages, or any other type of loan generally requires a great credit score. Lenders will base your interest rate on multiple factors, but your credit score will often carry a lot of the weight in that determination. If your credit is pristine, you have the upper hand with a better chance to negotiate in your favor. Shopping around for the best interest rates on loans is easier with an excellent credit history and score. Let's chat about all these different things so we can see what makes sense. Now, how do you keep your credit in good shape? Alan Hand's going to come back and chat with us about that one as well. Keeping your credit in good shape. Might be tempting to treat yourself to something you want when you first receive that credit card. Try to steer clear of making purchases that are not necessary. Understanding your wants versus your needs is key to keeping your spending habits in check. It's important to live within your means and to keep your credit card balances well below your credit limits. We've talked about this before, 70% or lower, 50% or lower, 30% or lower. Each of those are where the breaks come in for your credit scores. Credit is a big deal. Be very, very careful of it. It's amazing. 1 in 5 Americans are shocked to find errors on their report. Those are just the people that are not listening to Ron Siegel Radio. 79% of consumers who disputed credit report errors were successful in removing them. 79%. Got to do it the right way, though. If you haven't done it the right way, you're not going to be as successful. That's the Your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. And as we know, it's wrong. The big question is, what are you doing about it? Got to chat with you about that all the time, because it is, I suggest that you need to be looking at that on a regular basis, a lot more regularly than most people look for it. We started chatting yesterday about your wants versus your needs in a home, and we didn't have enough time to get to all of it. Just because whenever we have guests in studio or on the line with us, we want to focus as much time as we can with them. So we were talking yesterday, and I want to get back to this subject, about your dream home and knowing what you want versus what you need. The must-haves. So we were talking about must-haves, should-haves, and absolute wish list. Must-haves, if the property does not have these items, then it shouldn't be even considered. For instance, you must have housing. Say if you work in Irvine, you might say, well, I've got to have housing in Southern California. Must-have would be, you can't have a house in San Francisco. That's something that says you can't even consider it. Number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, those are all must-haves. Should-haves, if the property hits all of the must-haves and some of the should-haves, it'll probably stay in contention, but does not need to have all of the should-have features. Then you're going to make a list of the wishes. If we find a property in our budget that has all the must-haves, most of the should-haves, and any of these on the absolute wish list, then you're going to go back and you're going to say, that's a winner. That's the property that we're really looking for. So the bottom line, having the list made before you start your search, it's going to save you time and frustration. Now, you may also have to be looking at it and saying, what are the differences between my wish list and my significant other's wish list? Are those going to be the same? So once you put those lists together, then you're going to be able to go to the next step and say, okay, well, I've got the must-haves, the should-haves, and then hit the wish list, and then you've got a winner. That's the bottom line. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Surprising travel expenses to watch out for. How to remove collections from your credit report. All that and more. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending
lending team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Welcome back. We are back. Final segment of the day today, the Word on Wealth segment today, being brought to you by Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you, and they are the only one with the Fast Pass loan approval. Gold Star, give them a call, 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with them. Ron at ronsiegelradio.com, so we can help you out there as well. Surprising travel expenses to watch out for. Are you a traveler? Do you enjoy getting out there and doing any traveling? Obviously that would be the first question to look at, is if you're not a big traveler, you may not have too much fun with that. But if you do like to travel, well, then let's chat about that one as well in the Word on Wealth segment brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. Trying to get the report to wake up for me right here. So some of the costs that surprise individuals on when they first come around getting ready for trips. A lot of these come up when you're dealing with trips going out of the country, going overseas. Vaccines. Have you had that one before? Well, you might want to be looking at it. $700 there in some instances for vaccines to go into foreign countries. Travel insurance. Sometimes you look at it and you say, that's a lot of money. But then there's a lot of people right now that were going to the southern part of Texas, going to a lot of areas in Florida, going to the Caribbean. Those areas have been pretty heavily devastated. Sometimes your credit cards will offer these benefits to you. So make sure you look at your credit card benefits. I know some folks who look at that, especially when you're talking about rental cars. Make sure you know the benefits of your credit cards before you start doing anything in some of these different services. You might already have the insurance that's needed for your rental car as part of your credit card. Yet when you walk into the rental car agency, or if you've got the online service where you set it up in advance, they're asking you for insurance. Be careful of that. Tips. A lot more to tipping than you might expect. Not all cultures expect consumers to tip for all types of services. Do a little research in advance. If you'll be traveling to a country where tipping is part of the etiquette, then it's best to think outside the box for this practice as well. For example, it's a given that you would tip your waiter and cab driver, but don't forget about hotel staff, the captain of the ship, the sommelier, the sky cap at the airport. How about taxes? A little bit of tax here and there on things like souvenirs, food, and drink can add up. But what you should really take into consideration is the additional taxes that come with hotel charges and flights. Even small tax percentages on large price tags can really add up quickly, so be prepared. How about, this one kills me, resort fees. Now, when you go to a resort, you're paying them for your room. Why is there an add-on for a resort fee? If you didn't want to be going to that facility, then you can go to Tom Bodette and stay with him. They don't have a resort fee there. Just drives me nuts when you see a resort fee. Or you can go to the off-brand, I think it's Residence Inn, which is a Marriott property. They don't charge for Wi-Fi. But when you go to Marriott, they charge you for the Wi-Fi. I don't get that. Best way to be prepared for this is to make sure you read everything before paying to stay somewhere, and never be afraid to call if you have any questions. Foreign transaction fees is another one. Most credit and debit cards charge a foreign transaction fee every single time you use your card in another country. These fees typically range from 1% to 3% if you'll be traveling internationally. You may want to pick a credit card that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees. So those are some of the ways to be careful of, or some items you want to be careful of when you are traveling any time of the year, because they can add up. I know the family travel season is about done, but the rest of the cult communities, pre and post kids, you're probably just starting that travel season right now. That's the Word on Wealth segment. Again, brought to you by Gold Star Mortgage. So yesterday we were speaking again, Alan Hand, we were talking about the idea of getting collections off your credit report and the right way to do it. Do not simply pay them. That can cause you a serious problem. So what is a debt collection? It's when a creditor gives up a delinquent account to a debt collector. For example, you can continue to ignore your credit card bills. Your credit card issuer can send your account to a debt collector. The account will show up in your credit report as a charge-off, essentially saying that the issuer has given up trying to elicit payments from you. The debt collection agency will take over the account responsibility, including pursuing you for your payments. Many different kinds of accounts can be sent to collections: credit cards, auto loans, mortgages, utilities, medical bills. Unpaid medical bills can sometimes get you some slack, though. Debt collections may seem ruthless. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act puts consumer protections in place when it comes to debt collections, and this law prohibits debt collectors from actions like threatening you, calling you at unreasonable hours, or disturbing you at your place of work. If you start to hear from a debt collection agency, your first step should be to check your credit report. Make sure there are no inconsistencies or mistakes there. You can also contact the debt collection agency directly to have them validate the debt. You have to do this within 30 days of receiving word of your debt being sent to collections. Validating the debt ensures that you're actually responsible for the account at hand. If they can't validate the debt, then it must be removed from your credit report. Accurate, complete, and verifiable. Those are the rules for having anything on your credit report. Complete, accurate, and verifiable. Any one of those three, and it has to be removed. How do debt collections affect your credit score? Once an overdue account lands with a debt collection agency, the account will show up in your credit report as an unpaid account. The original account labeled as charge-off will remain in your report. Once in your report, debt collections drop your credit score anywhere from 50 to 100 points. The exact amount depends on your score, but generally the higher your score, the bigger the dip. Debt collections will also remain on your credit report for up to 7 years. However, the bite it takes on your score lessens with time. Unfortunately, the collection stays in your report even if you repay it in full. As long as it remains in your report, potential lenders and creditors can see it. This could easily dissuade them from lending to you. That's why it's important to quickly validate the debt. That way your credit score isn't unnecessarily harmed. If it's too late for that, you can look into removing collections from your credit report. How do you remove collections? Dispute it properly. Your first shot at removing debt collection accounts from your credit report is to dispute the debt. One scenario happens when the account is not your debt at all. Again, you should catch the dispute within 30 days. Doing so will make your life easier, but if you miss the deadline, you have other options. Simply put, you can't be held responsible for a debt that isn't yours. You'll have to submit a credit report dispute. Do not push that button on there, though. Don't push the button on the Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion pages or websites that says dispute this. You've got to do it the right way. And again, just paying that debt collection, that's not the right way to do it. We spoke again about that with Alan Han. Because if it's old, if it's aging, it's having a lesser impact on your score. The minute you make a payment on it, now it's a new activity, and it's going to affect your score again. So get in writing what you're doing. Maybe you can get a goodwill deletion. Maybe you can get a removal letter. Those are all opportunities. Those are all options that you have. But you got to do it the right way. Again, spend a little bit of money. It'll save you a lot of money in the long run. That's just the way it works. And we're always happy to share this information with you, to get you the best possible information that we can and put you in touch with the professionals. You know, you could any of these things that we talked to you about, you can do them on your own, but you're probably not going to get the best solution when you do them on your own. You know, we talked about that collection. If you've got the collection, if you're doing it the right way, you're probably not going to have any problems with it in the long run. Just chatting with you about that. So be very, very careful there, and be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.